So I'm gonna give a real quick rundown of what we're looking at here with this map, and then we're gonna jump into Flex MLS. So Flex MLS is one of many MLS providers out there. A lot of us on Zoom are familiar with RealTracks, which covers all of Middle Tennessee, except this pink area, that's all RealTracks. Now Chattanooga uses Flex. East Tennessee, which used to be Knoxville, uses Flex. River Counties, Flex, and then Greater Smoky Mountains just switched to Flex too. There's also systems out there called Paragon, Stellar MLS, Navica. So there's a whole bunch of MLSs, and depending on what region you're in, those regions might use a different system. Now, the unfortunate part of being an agent, it's very much a pay-for-play system, where if you want to keep expanding into different areas, you have to keep paying to join different MLSs. So we've done a lot of videos on RealTracks. So that's why today we're going to cover Flex, because most of East Tennessee is entirely Flex MLS. So let's jump in. So this is the interface with Flex. Brittany, are you able to log in? Have you kind of plugged around on Flex, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I have.
Perfect. Okay. So a lot of this might be kind of a refresher for you, but we're going to kind of cover this for our different agents that I notice are in a different MLS system. But this is the main dashboard, similar to RealTracks. So you have that dashboard. And on here are all your different widgets, and you can customize this. So you have contacts, you have your hot sheet, you have your listings, but basically you can make this what you want to. And I really recommend customizing the toolbar up here, because when I hit menu on Flex, this kind of opens up all the options of what I can do within this MLS system. And there's a lot of them. So what I would recommend is going through your most commonly used tabs right here and just clicking the little star button, because then you can make this custom, and that way you don't have to scroll through 100 menu options. So I have quick search. Obviously, if I want to start a search for a home, I have office member. I really like to search for different members. Maybe I need another agent's phone number. I can click this tab, and you can search anybody that's in the system. So I could type, for example, Amy, and she's right here. And then if I click on her profile, I see her headshot, I see her cell phone, her mobile, office number, and her email. And if you're filling out a contract at the very bottom, it asks like, hey, what's their license number? What's their information? This is where you can get it. I'd also say too, as the broker, I do randomly get questions from or calls from different agents, and they say, hey, Zach, what's the lockbox code for 123 Main Street? I don't know. We have several hundred agents, and I would have the same philosophy that most offices are probably not keeping track of different access instructions or lockboxes. So call the agent directly, call the listing agent, don't call the office, because you might get an admin, an assistant, you might get me, and I don't have that relationship like you guys do with your homeowners. So always call the agent directly. The other tab is CRS tax info right here. Has anybody used CRS tax info before?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a gold mine of information. Every single MLS system has some sort of tax information. RealTracks has CRS, Flex has CRS, Stellar uses like IMAP and Realist. But right here, this is a full behind the scenes picture of who you're going to go talk to. Maybe you have a listing appointment, you want to look up the house, maybe you want to write an offer and you want to see, do they owe anything on this property? How long have they owned it? What are the taxes? So you can get all that from this tab right here, CRS tax info. And if you don't have these up here, again, just click menu and click the star. This one is over here. So this is a quick behind the scenes. Everybody's probably seen this real quick, but you have your owner information here. You can see if they actually live where the house is located. Maybe they're out of state and this is a rental. So you could check if these are different, the mailing address and property address. It shows school zones. Now, anything on here, double check it. School zones, taxes, never take this 100% for granted that this is actual fact. Always double check. You can see they bought this for $85,900 in 2019. I always like to scroll down here. Here's the taxes. Those are probably going to change anytime you buy a property. And then you have your mortgage history down here. So it looks like they might have a couple mortgages on this property. They took one out originally when they bought it. They got one with a different lender in 2021, and then another lender in 2022. Some of you might have heard of like Showing Time, for example. If you want to set up a showing to go see a house, Broker Bay is what is the platform that is used within Flex MLS to schedule showings. RealTracks has their own showing center as well, but Flex uses Broker Bay. Contact management up here. So this is going to be, you can input any sort of context. Anybody that says they're looking for a house, put their information in Flex, and you can set up automatic searches. You can see if they've opened different property searches you've sent them. So you can see their info. This person, I just put test contact. but you can even see how often they're logging into those home searches that you're sending them. It keeps track of all of that. It shows what they viewed. Maybe they've starred something. It notifies you of that. So that's pretty cool. But it's a pretty detailed explanation of what they're doing anytime you're sending them a link from the MLS. What about RealTracks? Has anybody set up an auto search from their MLS system?
Yes.
Anybody know the benefit of setting them up within the MLS to receive listings?
The benefit as in I can look through it.
So I was going to say one of the benefits, yes, you can keep track of everything they're looking at, but the MLS is the hub of where all the listing information is input. Sites like Zillow, Realtor.com, they're receiving the feed from this main hub of information. And this is the most accurate, most up-to-date. So that's my pitch to consumers as well, is like, hey, you might be looking on Zillow, you might be looking on Realtor.com, all these other third-party sites, it might not even be accurate. Or you don't have the documents that are attached. Or you can't see different previous things with CRS tax debt. Like there's all these things that the MLS provides. And so, hey, consumer, let me plug you in with a search directly from kind of the mothership of information. And that way you have the most up-to-date, accurate information. So I would always plug them in here. All right, let's go. And then the other tab I added up here, custom, is add listing. So that way I can just click here and then I can start adding a listing. Now with this, it's very similar to other systems. All you got to do, add listing, you just go through the tabs, that's it. And it even tells you, if I say single family house, address, in red, that's gonna be my required fields. So it's very easy, just go through all the required items. Type in your street, name, county. And then you just go through. Now I go to main fields. It picks a map location based on what I've input, so I can always move this around. This might be off if you have like new construction, so you can move the pin so it's accurate when people are searching for it. Use this location, keep main fields. Now we go through everything. If you have any questions, you can hover over it. So maximum days before current date, 4 days. Lockbox number, it tells you it has to be 8 characters. It's kind of a paint by numbers. Public remarks, you can click in there and it says you've entered 1 out of 2,000 available characters in this field. And then you'll keep going through everything. Any questions so far? I don't want to go too fast on anybody.
I just had a quick question. How do we sign up for this for Flex?
So the good thing is, with our company, we're part of all these different MLS systems. So all we would have to do is call the local association and tell them to add you, and we can get you signed up. And then you can get pricing and everything else to make sure it's a good fit for you.
Okay, thanks.
Because I do wish there was like one big statewide MLS, or at the bare minimum, there's 12 MLS systems in Tennessee. I wish they all spoke to each other as far as data sharing, so you could pay for one and view information in different markets. But for right now, it's a pay for play system. Like, hey, I'm part of this system, but I want to join this one. You'd have to pay for both.
Can you tell me real quick the name of the MLS for Memphis?
Memphis over here is called Paragon MLS.
Okay.
And
But
it's run through most of the MLSs are run through those associations. So you can call the association and say, hey, I'm already a realtor somewhere else in the state. So I don't want to join the association. I just want to be what's called MLS only. So, hey, Mar, I just want to be MLS only, and they'll give you the price of Paragon.
okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So hypothetically, if we inputted everything, or we just need a break, we can hit save incomplete listing. Go back and select a member. Let me make myself here real quick. Save. Okay. Incomplete listing has been saved. Perfect. Back. All right. So the good thing, once you hit save incomplete listing, this is where you can start diving into adding your photos. You can add up to 75 photos, and they can be up to 15 megabytes in size. So if you work with a photographer, make sure to tell them, hey, keep this under 15 megabytes per photo, and they'll know what that means. Documents. Any good listing agent is going to add whatever documents that a buyer's agent will need. So your confirmation of agency, maybe your seller's disclosure or exemption, whatever needs to be known to a buyer, upload that here. And that'll save you a lot of calls as a listing agent too. So you're not just getting hounded like, hey, I need this form or this form. Let's go to quick search. So right now, when I click quick search, it has all these options for me to help narrow in all of the listings on this system. A good acronym or a good framework that I learned was you want to search, find, and act. Those are kind of the three stages of helping find the right property for your consumer. So the first stage of searching, that's what all of these parameters allow us to do. So I can hit view map, and that's going to show me everything that's active. Now I can go over here, scroll a little bit. I can type in bedrooms. Let's say 3 bedrooms. Now we dropped about 400. I can do 2 bathrooms. We just dropped some more. Square footage, I want 1,500. And let's say year built, 2020. Okay, so that's how we start narrowing down over here on the right-hand side. If you're ever doing comps and you want to see pendings, you'll just click this button over here, active, and then it has this drop down and you can add whatever you want. Now you do have to hit the control button, but you can hit pending or coming soon, contingent, and now it starts adding all those different additional homes to our search. Go back to active. Let's click that. Listing price. Up here. Okay. So now I went with 1 million plus. So that way we can get this down where it's a little bit more manageable. We have 29 results. So I can click that. It'll take me over to the results. And then over here are a lot of your options in your tools. So I'm in the list view. I can jump back to my map view, which I was just on, and it shows which one that it has highlighted. So right here, if I click here, now it's a star over here. I can go detail view and I can see everything about the listing. And then back to list view is just entirely the thumbnails. I'm going to go to detail. Now, when you start finding the right homes, maybe you're searching for your client, just click off what might be a good fit. Maybe this one, and this one. So now out of 29 results, we have selected 3. So we can narrow even more if we want to and go selected 3. So now we're in the stage of finding properties that match what our client is looking for. That's stage 2. We're searching. Now we found some things that are good fit. And then we want to act. We want to do something with this information. So what we can do over here, share. This is now our action buttons. So we can share this via Facebook. Maybe we can send an email with this information. We can even send a text link. It's not going to be your phone number. It'll be Flex MLS has a phone number assigned, but you can text this out to your client. I can hit email. So if I want to send all these to my client, how would you like to do it? You can send a printer friendly version, which is like it's frozen in time, the information, but maybe by the time they look at it, a price has changed, or maybe one of them is now pending. I like the interactive version because it's up to date information and it's actively updating those listings that I'm sharing to the client. So you click that. And now over here, when we're going to share this over, we can do the selected, we can do everything. If we click all, and then it asks us, do we want to send them just a public view? Kind of like if they go on Zillow or Realtor.com, that similar type of information. Or private information is going to have like cooperating compensation, private remarks. So it's going to have more of those agent specific fields that now consumers can see. And then I'd always check documents. There's nothing wrong with a client being able to see maybe a subsurface sewage disclosure, lead-based paint disclosure. Let them see those documents. I don't care. Open houses. We can put in our contact's name here. I like leaving this checked as well. It should be auto-checked. Notify me the first time the recipient views the page. So Flex will email me as soon as they've opened it. So now I know that lead or that buyer looking for homes is actively engaged because they've just clicked on the link that I sent them. You can send them a email. And if you find yourself using the same type of wording, save it as a template as well. So you could say, check out these listings, new listings, options, save as new. So I can save this as new listing template. So that way, if I'm setting up searches for a lot of people, I don't have to keep typing this out every single time. I can just do drop down, click this, and then hit email. Does that make sense for everybody?
So far, so good.
Perfect. Brittany, do you have I'm putting you on the spot. Do you have a headshot uploaded into your Flex account?
I don't.
Okay. So let's go. Whenever you click office members, so I do recommend a headshot. A lot of these people don't, but some do. I think it really helps because if you're scheduling a showing, people can see a headshot and know who to expect is about to show up to the property. Also, if they call you, they know who you are. And if you want to add one, because I think it does just looks more professional as well, if you have headshots uploaded, is you go up here to the top right corner and you hit my profile. And then under here, you would hit personal photo and logo maintenance. And then you can upload that headshot. And then you have maintenance right here in case you need to update like your phone number, your email. You can update that stuff here. But I would definitely do the photo. Back. Okay, let's go back to our search. The other thing we can do over here on our tools as well. So we have different things to narrow in the search over here. Same thing over here. We can start narrowing in the home search of everything listed with shapes. So we could draw a triangle. We could draw a circle. Oh, look. You can even do any homes within these two shapes. You could even click the intersection. Go. And it will only list the homes that meet these two shapes right here in the intersection. The other thing you could do is measure over here. So let's say you live on Lookout Mountain and you're wondering how far the aquarium is. Well, you just click and the aquarium is 4.78 miles away. That's the little measure tool over here. You can also, let me delete this. Let me zoom out just a little. Has your classic polygon too. Like, hey, I want to be downtown. So you can draw a custom shape. It also has over here this little color wheel. And it shows you what these green dots mean. And green means active. You can switch it to what MLS system are these on? What about price per square foot? It shows you different ranges where these are the highest price per square foot and these are a little bit less. Like these are closer, these are in downtown and these are a little bit further away. So that's kind of cool. And then price as well. You can see what's highest priced within the shape and what's lowest. Here. The other thing I like to do, so you can do this on any MLS system, is go down here to add a field. Let me delete this shape. Add a field. I can find our office. So under add field, just search office, listing selling office. And then you can search Zach Taylor. Find. I'm going to click both of our offices. Add. And we have 51 listings. Color wheel, jump this back. All right. So the reason I pulled these up, our listings, is because this is a great lead generation tool to plug into with our other agents. These agents have listings. Let's go call everybody in our office that has a listing and say, hey, can I go hold an open house for you this weekend? And right now you have 51 options. And what I did as a newer agent is I would run through all of these. And if I couldn't find anything, I'd start calling houses at other listings as well, just so I get my foot in the door and run that event to generate more business. Go back to edit search. Let's click one of these. More info. Oh, else. Okay. Now, if we look at a listing, we can see down here. So you have all of your information here that you can start reading through. You have your public remarks. Always check your agent only notes, or known as your private remarks. These are things that only agents in Flex can see. The public cannot see these notes. And I've seen some crazy things in here. I've seen there's a sinkhole out back. The seller's going to take the kitchen cabinets. Like, you don't know what's going to be in here. So always check agent only notes. Sometimes you have different showing stuff as well. And then it shows for showing advance notice required by appointment, call showing service by appointment. Use Broker Bay, yes. So then you can use Broker Bay, the showing system, to schedule a showing. So you just click Broker Bay right here. And then you click a time, click a date, and wait for it to be approved. You can see who the listing agent is. So this is Carl. He's with Premier. Here's his phone number. Here's the office number, and then to email Carl. So remember, if you're going to schedule a showing, use Broker Bay, or if you have questions, just call Carl. You don't have to call the office. You can also track down here. So this is not in Real Tracks, but days on market or cumulative days on market. So some agents are notorious for they'll list a property, they'll wait a couple weeks, they don't get a single offer, so they'll take it down, and then they'll wait a day, and then they'll post it back online, so that way they've reset the days on the market. Kind of makes it look like a fresh new listing. Well, with Flex, they track what is the cumulative days. So you can do that, but what's your cumulative days on the market? Your total. Then as well with this, you can click history. So you can go through, has it been pending before? Maybe it was only pending for 8 days. That might have been an inspection issue now that it's back active. Maybe it was under contract for 30 days and it didn't go through. Well, maybe that was a financing or appraisal issue. So history allows you to kind of make guesses, but I'd always call the agent too and ask what happened. You got your CRS tax info right here. And then this agent does not have documents, but you'll see a documents tab. Like I just clicked on the listing documents. So they have a plat map, confirmation of agency, and different information for us. But that's kind of a quick rundown of Flex. They're really big on this system as well, never hitting your back tab, always navigating within the system itself. So if I wanted to edit my search, I hit edit search. I don't hit back because it'll kind of just erase everything that I've done to this point. So you hit edit search. The other cool thing you can do up here is it can start guessing what you're trying to look for. So you can type in, 1 million plus, and it starts, do you want to start a single family search for 1 million plus listings? What about with 4 bedrooms? And it'll start creating that search for me. So I can click that and it'll change the current tab that I'm on, or I could hit new tab and it'll open up a new tab with those search features for me. Has anybody grown up and they were playing video games, or they had a Game Boy or Nintendo or PlayStation? Anybody?
I mean, I'm old, so I've had all that.
Okay. So we always say with the MLS, with different tools like that, when you have a new video game, you start plugging around, the best way to learn it is to use it. I know with like PlayStation, I wouldn't call PlayStation and be like, hey, how do I load my game? How do I put it in the machine? How do I go to this menu option? That's not an option. I have to figure it out. So that's the best practice with these tools is get in there, start using them, start clicking around, and then you'll be excellent and efficient with using them. Because also you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait until the first person is finally ready to search for a property with you, and you've never even logged into the MLS. And now you're scrambling like, well, how do I log in? Or how do I search properties? It'd be like a mechanic has a full mechanic shop with all these tools, never picked up a single tool, and he waited for the first car to drive in to get worked on. Well, now he's scrambling. So make sure you use your tools, you plug in, and we'll post this video on YouTube as well to help out other agents.